facing those parts of ourselves, we'd maybe rather not look at, those habits, the shortcomings. We call them character defects. It can feel huge, almost impossible sometimes. But imagine a step in recovery that's actually designed to get us ready for real change, for letting go. That's step 6 in Narcotics Anonymous. It offers a real path towards, well, freedom.
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today, NA's 6th step. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character.
Right.
We'll be looking at the main NA sources, the basic text, it works, how and why, and step working guides to get a deeper feel for what this step really means and how to actually build up that readiness.
And it's key to remember in NA that idea of a higher power is really personal, right? It's God as we understood him, so it can be anything meaningful to the individual.
Absolutely. Could be a traditional understanding or the group or just, a guiding principle. It's very inclusive.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear, but also, well, pretty deep, to help you, the listener, really get a handle on step 6 and prepare. Become genuinely ready to let your higher power take care of those defects. Okay, so let's unpack step 6 itself. Strategically, where does it sit in the 12 steps? It's not number 1, obviously.
No, it's perfectly placed, really.
Yeah.
It comes right after the deep dive of step 4, that searching moral inventory.
A fearless inventory.
Fearless and searching, exactly.
Okay.
And then step 5, where we share what we found with our higher power, ourselves, and another person. That takes courage.
Definitely.
So step 6 kind of gathers all that up and gets us ready for the next action, which is step 7, humbly asking for those defects to be removed. Like the bridge between knowing and asking.
The bridge. I like that. Okay, the phrase entirely ready. That sounds intense. Entirely. What does that actually look like in practice? Is it perfection?
Oh, definitely not perfection. That's a relief, right?
Yeah.
No, entirely ready is more about a genuine, like a wholehearted willingness. It's about wanting the change and accepting, really accepting, that it needs to happen.
Okay.
I mean, seeing that these defects are actually causing harm, to us, to others, and having a real desire to be free from them. But importantly, it's not about thinking we can fix them ourselves. That's crucial.
Right. It's readiness for the higher power to remove them, not readiness to do it ourselves.
Precisely. It's a shift in attitude.
Okay, so what if? What if someone feels ready to let go of, say, resentment, but maybe not control? They feel like they need that one.
That's a really common thing. And that's where the idea of reservations comes in. The NA literature talks about this.
Reservations, like holding back a part.
Exactly. Holding on to certain defects, being unwilling to surrender them, is like saving a little spot for relapse. You might think, okay, I'll give up this stuff, but this one defect, it protects me, or it's just who I am.
Yeah, I can see that justification happening.
But those reservations really block progress. They limit how much help we can actually receive. So entirely ready means being willing, eventually, to let go of all of them, even the ones we think are useful.
Okay.
And, getting there, that readiness, it's often a process. It might not be like a light switch flicking on, more like a sunrise, maybe. It grows as you work the program.
A sunrise, yeah, gradual. Okay. You mentioned defects of character, and that instantly makes me think step 4 inventory. Can we explore that link a bit more?
Absolutely. They're directly connected. The defects we're talking about in step 6 are those patterns, those negative traits, those shortcomings we identified back in step 4.
The list.
The list, yeah.
Yeah.
Those resentments, the fears that hold us back, the self-pity, the dishonesty, maybe control issues, all those things we wrote down.
Right.
These are the patterns that have messed things up for us again and again. Step 6, ask us to look at that inventory and say, yep, these things, I need these gone. They're blocking me from a better life.
So they're not just ideas on paper. They're real behaviors with real consequences. And if we keep them,
they'll definitely keep hindering recovery. They keep those negative cycles going, hurt relationships. They stop us from finding that real freedom recovery offers. Letting them go opens up space for healthier ways of living.
Makes sense. Now, the other key part of the step wording, have God remove. Let's talk about the higher power's role here.
Yeah, and again, that personal understanding of God as we understood him is key. Step 6 isn't about signing up for a specific religion. It's about getting ready to let your higher power, whatever that is for you, step in and help remove these ingrained patterns.
So it involves acknowledging we can't do it alone.
Exactly. It's admitting, okay, I've tried maybe really hard, but these things are still here. I need help beyond myself.
Is it just passive waiting then? Okay, higher power, I'm ready, take them.
Not really passive, no. It's more like actively cultivating the willingness. We have to do our part. being open, having that sincere desire for change. We create the conditions, we open the door, and that allows our higher power to work in ways we might not even expect.
Okay, that active cultivation makes sense. Let's turn to the NA literature. How does the basic text help us understand Step 6 readiness?
The basic text really hammers home the importance of willingness. It talks a lot about wanting freedom from these defects.
That desire for freedom.
Yes. Key passages often say that being ready is what opens the door for spiritual growth, for change to actually happen. It frames it as holding on to the old ways keeps you stuck. Letting go lets you move into the new life recovery offers and encourages you to really want that freedom.
Okay. And what about it works? How and why? Does it offer a different angle?
Yeah, it works. Often gets into the psychology of it a bit more. It talks about the fear of change.
Which is huge.
It's huge. Even if the current way is miserable, it's familiar, right? There's a weird comfort in the known dysfunction sometimes.
Yeah, the devil you know.
Exactly. So, it works, explores letting go of that fear, realizing that staying the same is actually more uncomfortable in the long run than facing the fear of change. And it connects back to the hope we hopefully found in Step 2.
Step 2, hope. Believing change is possible.
Yes, that belief that a power greater than ourselves can restore us. That hope fuels the willingness we need for Step 6.
That connection is really clear. Hope fuels willingness.
Now, the step working guides, they're more hands-on. What do they offer for preparing for 6?
The guides are great for making this practical. They give you specific questions to really think about your own readiness.
Like what sort of questions?
Things like, what specific character traits keep me stuck? Or what would my life actually look like if I changed in this area? They make you visualize it.
That sounds powerful. Getting specific. Any others?
Oh, yeah. They often ask about the fears underneath. What am I afraid I'll lose if I let go of this defect? Like, do I think anger protects me or something like that?
Good question. Confronting those hidden beliefs. Definitely. And another big one is distinguishing readiness from trying to control it. Am I confusing being ready with thinking I can remove these defects myself? They really clarify that distinction.
Okay.
And then they often suggest next steps,
Uh.
like making a clear list of your main defects and, crucially, talking them over with your sponsor.
So the guides really push for honesty and specifics. It sounds like facing potential barriers is a big part of this.
Yeah.
What are some common roadblocks people hit when trying to become entirely ready?
Well, we touched on fear of the unknown. That's a big one. Life without this familiar, even if painful, defect. What's that like?
Yeah, scary.
And that attachment we mentioned, seeing a defect as like part of your identity or necessary for survival. Then there's just plain doubt. Can my higher power really remove something this deep-seated?
That doubt can be strong.
It can. And sometimes we just have misconceptions. We might fear being vulnerable or losing some edge we think the defect gives us. Like people worry if they let go of anger, they'll become doormats or something.
Right, those what-if scenarios. It really shows Step 6 is about working through our internal stuff just as much as connecting with a higher power. You mentioned willingness earlier, drawing from Step 3. How vital is that here?
Oh, willingness is everything in Step 6. It's the foundation. It builds right on the willingness we hopefully started developing in Step 3 when we decided to turn our will and lives over.
Okay.
In Step 6, that willingness gets focused specifically on these defects. It's like saying, okay, I can't fix this alone, and I'm now ready and open to help. Without that genuine willingness, Step 7, the asking, just doesn't have the same power.
So Step 6 isn't just a single moment, but part of the ongoing recovery journey. How does becoming ready fit into the bigger picture?
Getting to that entirely ready point is a really significant marker on the journey. It shows a deepening commitment, a real embrace of change.
A turning point.
Yeah, definitely a pivotal point. It connects the internal work, the inventory, the admission, with the active reliance on a higher power for change in Step 7. It signals, okay, I'm serious about living differently now, free from these old patterns.
Okay, this is becoming much clearer. We understand the core of Step 6, entirely ready, the defects, the higher power, the literature's guidance. Let's get practical now. How can someone actively prepare to work Step 6? What are some concrete actions drawing from the sources?
First things first, go back to your Step 4 inventory. Really look at it again.
Not just glance.
No, really sit with it. Reflect on each defect. How does it show up in your life, your thoughts, feelings, actions? Then, and this is key, talk about these specific defects openly with your sponsor or another trusted NA member.
Saying it out loud.
Saying it out loud. It helps break down denial, builds that readiness, It makes it real.
Okay, that makes sense. What else can someone do?
Well, spend some time reflecting on the pain these defects cause. What are the actual negative consequences in your life and recovery when you act on them? Get specific.
Confronting the downside.
Exactly. And then flip it. Consider the benefits of being free. How would your life improve? What could open up? Really try to visualize that positive future.
Okay.
And, prayer and meditation can be really helpful here. Specifically asking for willingness, asking for the desire to let these things go to your higher power.
So it's both looking at the negative consequences and the positive potential and using the literature actively in this prep phase.
Oh, absolutely. Reread those step 6 sections in the basic text. It works. The guides. Pay attention to stories from others. Notice where you feel resistance.
Finding your own sticking points.
Yeah. Ask yourself why you're resisting letting go of that specific defect. What's the fear there? And keep coming back to that step 2. Hope, the belief that your higher power can help you change.
Yes.
Remember,
Yes.
entirely ready doesn't mean you're suddenly fearless. It just means the desire for change finally outweighs the fear of letting go. The willingness tips the scale.
The desire outweighs the fear. That's a great way to put it. Okay, so let's try and summarize the key takeaways from our deep dive into step 6.
Well, we've really unpacked what entirely ready means, that it's about deep willingness, not perfection. We've seen how it connects directly to the defects of character identified back in step 4.
Right, and how it requires us to become willing to let our higher power, however we understand that power, do the work of removal because we can't do it alone.
Exactly. We explored the crucial role of willingness, building on earlier steps, and looked at how the different NA texts, basic text, it works. The guides each shed light on preparing for this step. They give different angles, but point the same way.
And we covered practical ways you, the listener, can prepare. Reviewing your inventory, talking honestly with others, reflecting on consequences and benefits, using prayer meditation, and engaging with the literature to work through resistance.
Yeah, it's all about that preparation for transformation, opening yourself up to the possibility of real, profound change. Step 6 is that crucial preparatory pause before the action of 7.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Think about one specific character defect from your step 4, just one that really nags at you or causes problems. And ask yourself, what would it actually really feel like in your day-to-day life to be completely free from its grip?
That's a powerful question.
And then maybe think, what's one small thing, just one tiny step I could do today to move a little closer to being entirely ready to let that specific defect go?
Could be anything. A call, reading something, just a moment of quiet reflection, asking for willingness.
Exactly. Whatever that small step is for you, maybe consider taking it. And definitely keep talking about this with your sponsor in your meetings. It's a process.
It absolutely is.
Thank you for joining us.